All right, so we just had a massive Jordan drop for the Retro 12 Taxi, which not only is this a beloved OG Jordan brand classic, but on top of that, we haven't seen these sneakers drop since 2013, so it's definitely been a little minute. This one is so special to me that I had to bust out the good throwback Mike jersey. Comment down below, let me know what size you guys think this is, because although you can't tell, like, this joint is literally almost touching my knees, plus the tag reads length plus 2, so it's crazy to think how big we were rocking these jerseys back in the day. But as far as this sneaker, we originally saw it debut back in '96, Christmas to be specific. I remember because as a kid coming up, I was absolutely in love with the Concord 11s. For the next following Christmas, I remember asking for the next Mike Switch. These turned out to be the successor after the Concords, and although I wasn't like instantly in love with this sneaker back when it originally dropped, I still appreciate the fact that my aunt pulled up with these for Christmas, had a new pair of Mikes, and definitely over time, you know, grew an appreciation for these joints right here, which I think one of the most underappreciated aspects when people talk about this sneaker. This is something people don't really touch on too much, but although nowadays, you know, MJ's rocking crazy fits like this in his later years, shout out to the GOAT, but back in the days, back in the 90s on court, we got to talk about how fly MJ was, from the wristband to the different jersey color combos. We got the black joint with the red pinstripes, the white Chicago Bulls jersey, as well as the red one, right? All of the different color combos with these various 12s, right? From the taxis to the cherries, and then into the playoffs with the playoff joints, as well as the flu games, right? The different simple color combos, but mixed in with the different Chicago Bulls jerseys was just like so iconic back in the day. Plus, he wore the little shorts underneath. You also had the baggy shorts as well. And something that's not too much touched on, right, would be the choice of socks, right? Because if you recall, from the Concords, the 11s, even the 13s, 14s, MJ rocked just the regular NBA socks, but with these 12s, he wore these big socks and scrunched them up, right? Which at the time, I remember as a kid, I thought this was so stupid, but looking back on it, like, I appreciate it, right? I don't know if this was just done intentionally, like due to maybe like a performance issue, or maybe the shoes were uncomfortable or something like that. I don't know if it was just more aesthetically pleasing or something like that, but it was just so interesting that MJ did rock his socks like this for that season, which looking back on it, is a real dope look, man. Just so iconic, the different color combos, the jerseys, bruh. These are all the reasons why over time, the 12s have became like one of my favorite Jordans of all time. Probably due more so to like nostalgia and everything like that. So comment down below. Let me know if you guys picked up a pair of these. As far as the drop, Jordan Brand absolutely flooded the streets with these. Apparently for the sneakers app alone, there was what, like 80,000 pairs, plus these dropped it everywhere you can think of Jordans normally dropping. So for OGs who are looking to pick up a classic like this pair was pretty much smooth sailing. Now, of course, you know, anytime Jordan Brand massively produces a sneaker, of course, you're gonna have the quality control issues, which I did see some people complaining of the typical issues, which would include like loose stitching, you know, the excess glue marks and everything like that, which are pretty customary for Jordan drops. Some people got pairs worse than others. So I wonder if there's gonna be a case where people are out here, you know, grabbing multiple pairs, trying to just find that perfect pair and returning, you know, the defective pairs. We'll see how it goes. For me, unfortunately, due to the fact that where I'm located, we got no shops, so I had to order mine online. So we'll see what they look like once them joints come in, but hopefully no headaches involved. Great release from Jordan Brand. Really love to see the way it all went down. And let's not forget, the month of November, absolutely stacked. Up next, you guys have probably seen the Chicago 1 lows loaded up on the app, official images for that release. That's gonna be a highly sought after drop. People have been waiting all year for them joints. Let's not forget, we got the Shadow 10s loaded up on the app as well. The second pair of Jordan 10s, which we're gonna see drop this year. The steals were a lot more limited. We'll see how Jordan Brand decides to play things for these shadows. And let's not forget, probably the most highly anticipated drop of the month. We got the Black Cat 4 scheduled to drop coming up here on Black Friday, as official images have loaded up for this highly anticipated release as well. Now, as far as the actual sneaker, which a whole bunch of early pairs apparently are already hitting the streets, some people are talking about the color, right? There's a debate over the shade of black. Some people are saying it's too ashy, but I really feel like it's all kind of depending on the lighting, who's taking the pictures, and by the time these joints drop coming up for Black Friday, you already know people are gonna be going crazy for these. It's a 4. They're all black, it's easy to wear. It's a recipe for success. So a lot of great Jordans dropping here for the month of November. Comment down below, let me know which pairs you guys are most excited for. Now, we do also have some other leaks which have just popped out. Well, actually official images of the next Nike Nigo collaboration as they're continuing things with the Air Force 3. This time we got 2 new colorways, which appear in this kind of mixed match theme. Something interesting about this shoe on the back, you got the Nike Air versus the other pair, which reads Nego Force. So you know the good old saying where they be like, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. As far as this shoe, I guess the only thing I should do is just say, let's keep things moving, right? Now, on top of these Negos, we also got to look here at some more Ja 3 colorways, which are set to release coming up here in 2026, which this image comes courtesy of Ja Morant, which the whole rollout for this release has been kind of Ja like leaking the images, which is cool and all that. Who really cares? But as far as the sneaker, right? I think this has been one of the more like heavily praised Nike basketball models of recent, low profile. Kids are loving these. A lot of people are gravitating towards this sneaker. Talking about these are one of the more premier Nike basketball models, you know, outside of course the legendary Kobe line. So a lot of great colors have dropped so far. I rock with these right here. They threw them up on Nike ID, which is a really cool touch. Some of these stories are gonna have like themes which relate to Ja's life, such as this pair, the Dawn, which is inspired by his work ethic, which who could care less about the storytelling for these models? I think it's really all about the colors. And as far as these upcoming releases, I feel like they've definitely been executing. So look forward to most of these dropping coming up next year in 2026. And the fact that the Ja 3 has been so successful, I wonder if Nike will let this sneaker kind of marinate, right? They moved on so quick from the Ja 2, hurried up and put out the Ja 3. It'll be interesting to see if we see the Ja 4 debut for the following NBA season, or if they continue to pump out new iterations of the Ja 3, right? We'll see. We'll continue to monitor that one. Right now, recently we saw LeBron James pop out in a pair of Chuck Taylors, which this one happens to actually be a little more premium touch on the classic 70s basketball sneaker, right? So Complex gave us a more detailed look here at this upcoming sneaker, which is going to retail for a hefty $225, which I believe the standard Chuck comes in at like $70. So these joints are more than double the price of your regular pair of Chucks because they've upgraded the materials, right? It's a more premium version. You got the extra set of laces, Vibram sole, thicker sole, right? As well as thicker material, more premium, just materials all around. So kind of cool, right? Maybe some people would say unnecessary. I feel like why not give the people more options? Personally, for me, these would be a pass. I'm cool with just my old school Chucks. No need for all of this, but I thought this was interesting because you know how people always complain about Nike models and the fact that we need to like protro, you know, upgrade the materials, or I should say for Jordans, right? They're already doing it with the Kobe's. So what's taking them so long with Jordan Brand? I just feel like it's simply due to the fact that Nike and Jordan Brand is just still milking these retros. People are still paying full price, which the taxis were what, like $215 today? People are still willing to pay full price for these retros. And, you know, we'll eat up the fact that they're still uncomfortable, right? So would you guys like to see Nike, Jordan Brand, maybe hit us with some more premium Jordan models, something more comfortable, but in return, just like with these Chucks, probably gonna mean they're gonna be a lot more expensive. Let me know your feedback down below, guys. And before we bounce, of course, everybody's still waiting around for the big Travis Scott raffle, which this did pop up. They loaded up to the site last night. People are waiting around. Hopefully y'all ain't been waiting around all day, bro, like, because we still got a weekend to enjoy, right? These taxis, that was an easy call, smooth sailing. I can really care less about these Trav joints, but of course, you know, once the raffle goes live, it's definitely worth your time to put in an entry, right? But we already know pretty much what to expect. I feel like it's gonna be the same old story when you talk about these Travis releases. You'll probably see a few different people posting W's on your timeline. Everybody's gonna be like, congratulations, knowing deep down inside they're hating, they're mad that they didn't get a pair. They're gonna be checking their email. Nothing, checking their spam folder, checking their junk mail, absolutely nothing. So we're gonna see a couple of W's, a whole lot of L's, and a whole lot of people refreshing their email folder to see if they were able to go ahead and grab a pair of these right here. So Travis Scott, man, he had the big show last night. Ye popped out. He's on his little redemption tour right now. So kind of interesting moment right now. We'll see how this drop goes down as far as the Travis release. Good luck. I don't want to sound like a hater, and hopefully we'll see these joints hit the sneakers app, right? Can y'all imagine if like Nike was to just like massively produce these? Would there still be as hype as they are right now currently? Let me know what y'all think, but that's all I got for you guys here today on this great Saturday, smooth sailing for the taxis. Let me know what Jordan retros you guys are excited for coming up this month. And what do you guys feel like your odds are for these Travises? Plus, for everybody that commented their predictions for the size of this massive throwback jersey here, look, bruh, it's crazy. This joint, y'all see it, look. is literally a 3X. And then the tag reads length plus 2. That's how we was doing it back in the day. Absolutely crazy, man. But I had to bust this joint out. Found it in my mom's basement, right? So I had to bust this out for today's video. Great moment today for the OGs, man. JATV, I'll catch y'all next time. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this update, make sure y'all smash the like button. Plus, if you've been enjoying the content, right? You've been rocking with me. You've been watching the channel and you haven't done so yet, consider subscribing. Come along for the journey. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love.